I'm Roy Potter, a former U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel. Welcome to the Potter Expositor. Hi ladies and gentlemen, it's August 9th, 2017, and I reluctantly decided that I would make another video. Actually, I might make a couple of them. And let's start out here. That last video apparently caused a real ruckus. And I want you to understand something. We as Americans can't just trust our leaders because we like them or because of their rhetoric. We have to trust them only when the fruits of what they do are proven to support their rhetoric, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, Trump has done a lot of good things, and I want you to understand I support him. But at the same time, there's a lot of things going on. There are a lot of things going on that are problematic. But I'll say it again. I do support Trump and what he stands for, and the Constitutional Republic of the United States of America, and above all else, the perfect law of liberty as explained in the Old and New Testaments. However you feel about the history of Judaism and Christianity, the truth about the perfect law of liberty is essential to our awakening. Alright. I don't want to apologize for Trump like so many people do. When he fails to more forcefully stand against things like the Russian sanctions bill, which will harm Americans, and Ron Paul talked about that. When he fired a missile, actually 50 some odd missiles from what we hear, into Syria, all these things are against his campaign promises. Now he got on Sessions for Sessions going against the loyalty against Trump and recusing himself on the Russian deal. Well, Trump can't accuse Sessions of that. I agree with that, by the way, but he can't hold his feet to the fire for that, and then we not be expected to say, hey, okay, despite all the problems with the Russian bill, yes, you didn't want to look bad because it was veto-proof, etc., but you must stand on principle. And people say, no, politics, you got to compromise and all that. It's like I said at the beginning of that video. When you've asked God for help and you compromise with the devil, God's going to say, okay, fine, I'm done with you. Do you understand? This Russian sanctions bill was in fact the same type of surrender that Sessions did when he recused himself. Do you understand? And it signaled to the deep state, again, a weakness of compromise, of other things. And this all started way back when he said he wasn't going to prosecute Clinton right after the election. Silence is agreement. And people say, well, Trump's going to challenge this thing in court. Silence is agreement, and it's too late once you do it. Alexander Dugin was on Alex Jones a few days ago. If you don't know who he is, he's a Russian philosopher, and he talks a lot about different things with Russia and where they're going, and our relationship with Russia, the United States relationship with Russia. And he said something, I said something in a video a long time ago that I want to reiterate here, and I'm just going to read this. Alexander Dugin said, Putin is the defender against the establishment of the Antichrist, the New World Order, the deep states, all that. This fits in with Putin and Trump being two witnesses. Now, however you want to look at this, I'm not saying that this is Revelations or anything else like that. I'm saying that in the New Testament it says that all things will be established in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. Do you understand? 2 witnesses against this Antichrist establishment. Or the U.S. and Russia being the 2 standing against Satan's New World Order. Do you understand? That's why Putin is being attacked, and that's why Trump is being attacked. However you want to look at it. I wanted to bring that up first. And then I'm going to go to this. I want to throw my hat in the ring. Of course, he already knows it's there, with Craig Sawyer. Craig Sawyer, Matt Bracken, Lieutenant Colonel Shafer, and there are a lot of others who have been calling this coup out for what it is. Now, Craig Sawyer, and the information is in the link on a link in the description box below. Go look at that. Craig Sawyer said, if they take our president out of office, there will be a bloody massacre. Okay, that's what he said. He's really sticking his neck out on the line here if you people understand how far he's gone. And he didn't do it out of chutzpah, okay? He did it because he loves the constitutional republic. The MSM is trying to make it sound like that he was saying that if Trump is impeached, there will be a bloody massacre. No, because that's a constitutional way of removing somebody from office. That's not what Sawyer was saying. Sawyer was saying it is if this coup continues and takes Trump out of office, either leaving him alive or not, there's going to be a lot of hell to pay. They've got lists, they've been checking them twice, and they know who they're looking for if this thing goes down bad. And I'm just here to say that I support Craig Sawyer and what he said. He really, if you people can possibly understand how far out on the limb he put his neck on this. So anyway, that link is in the description box below. Go look at it. And I know that there are vets on the other side of this issue who are actually progressive leftists who went into the military for whatever reason. I'm not going to challenge why they went there. But when they say that Trump is a Russian agent, that he has obstructed justice, etc., and that they're going to stand against him because they took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States over a president, they don't know what they're talking about. They're lost, okay? They have no idea what's happening. That's because of the schooling they've received and also because of the propaganda that they've embraced. So I stand with Matt Bracken, I stand with Craig Sawyer, I stand with Lieutenant Colonel Shafer, etc., etc. Okay, I want to read one more thing and then I'm done. And I might have another video up. I don't know when. I'm just going to read this. The White House has a decision. This is for me. The White House has a decision to make. Notice, by the way, that Trump had to leave the White House about the same time that Congress adjourned. There's a reason for that. Because there was a threat made against Trump, and also they know that the White House was bugged by Obama's people. Illegally, by the way. That's subversion and espionage, especially if this information is being given to somebody like Soros. They're finding the bugs there. Remember, the newspaper said, oh, they're cockroaches, they're bugs. Anybody believes that, you might as well start laughing right now. They're telling you that that White House was bugged everywhere. One of the reasons why the leaks were happening. Do I trust Kelly still? No. I don't trust any force, any general. I don't trust anybody 06 or above because they've been vetted by the deep state for loyalty to them. Can they turn? Can they pretend like they are like that and yet still be good? Yes. But the jury's still out on Kelly at this point. McMaster, I know he's gone. Okay, let me finish reading this. Then I'll be done. The White House has a decision to make. If business as usual is permitted, desired, the republic will never again exist, and liberty is lost. Trump called out Sessions for recusing himself. I'm going back to the beginning of the video. Yet Trump fired missiles at Syria and signed a Russian bill. Do you understand that that's basically the same type of surrender? Similar white flags surrender. That's what they are, is they're similar white flags, and they're both wrong. Trump never seized the initiative and got on the offensive against the criminals. He never really did. He was trying to conciliate with them right from the start. He was trying to appease the deep state. The fruit is on the ground. You can see it. He thought his business sense and saving the economy was his path. He's a businessman, okay? Like, I look at things from a military sense, from a law enforcement sense, because that's my training. That'd be kind of normal, okay? He's doing it from the same kind of perspective, but business-wise. So I don't find fault in him. It's just that he didn't bring the people in there that needed to really help him. He refused to admit he was in a war and tried conciliation with the enemy. The enemy saw his mistake and used the weakness to attack. Now, here we are. I cannot convey to you the amount of disinformation there is everywhere. Deliberate, not by accident. Remember, Operation Mockingbird and then the NDAA of 2013, was it? The Congress said, yeah, CIA, you can go ahead and use the American MSM to get out propaganda and war against the American people. Your Congress did that. And I'm supposed to sit here and just... I sent out some information to a lady. I said, you know, military people who are really for the Constitution, when they see what's going on, they don't have the luxury of denial. At a time like this, it's best to let this, and I'm going to just use this four-letter word, shitstorm pass and the clouds dissipate. And I place this all on Trump's shoulders because he failed to act. Does that mean I don't support him? No. I just want him to start looking at what he's actually... I think he's finally realized it, okay, obviously. But that's the reason why I said that he's conceded and basically surrendered to the deep state. Now that was a battle. That's not the war. It's like, you know, a surrender at Sharpsburg or a surrender at the Battle of the Bulge or what. All that did turn the war, but it's not the final terms of surrender. Do you understand? But he can't do this anymore. He cannot do it anymore. And I'll just stand again, as I said at the beginning, I support Craig Sawyer 100% in what he said. This is a divide. The evil in the hearts of men and the good in the hearts of men are going to, those things are going to take hold, and people are going to follow one path or the other. It's going to be pretty clear cut. And we're not going to have any choice but to make that choice. It's going to be forced on us. So I hope that you understand that impeachment is a constitutional act. A coup to forcefully remove a constitutionally elected president is an illegal move. All the subversion that you see going on, the bugging of the White House by Obama, the constant barrage by the MSM, there's freedom of the press, yes, but that's not what's happening here. These are tools, institutions of the deep state, of the CIA and the deep state. So our own intelligence agencies that we fund to protect us are using our money to attack us. We can't have that anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It can't be this way any longer. Had enough time here. Out. Sorry about stumbling around a little bit when I get upset. And I haven't slept. I don't know if you can tell. This has been taking a toll on a lot of us. So anyway, thanks for listening. See you next time.